Hi, I'm Avi.
And I'm Paisley.
Welcome to the No Matter podcast, where our mom and dad will share about our full-time travel adventure. They give awesome tips about the best family vacation destinations, memory-making activities, and how to save while traveling.
They also have really cool guests to answer all your family travel questions. Be sure to follow us at nohomenomatter.com. Thanks for listening.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is your host, Neil Howe, and today my special guest is Stephanie Graves. And she is part of an ordinary, hard-working family who decided one day that they were going to chase their dreams, to have a life full of happiness and memories of rich adventures with their children. And through their engaging social media content and family travel-based blog, they aim to inspire other ordinary families to fulfill their own life of adventure. Their mission is to inspire others to get out and experience the world, near or far, with their children and live the life of their dreams. Stephanie Graves, welcome to the No Matter podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. So I'm very interested to hear how you made the decision to, just travel more with your family and really get out there and experience the world. But before we get into that, tell us a little bit about yourself and who your family is.
Yes, so my background is as a physician assistant, and my husband is from a family-owned business back in rural northern Maine here in the States. And within the last year and a half, we made the decision that we wanted to be able to provide the best that life could offer for ourselves and our young family. At that time, our twin daughters were about 3.5 years old. So we literally threw a dart on the map and relocated our family and all that we had ever known and moved to the Raleigh, North Carolina area. We have since welcomed our third child, a son, to our family, and we really just aim every day in our opportunities around my super busy work schedule to get out and explore the best of the best this area has to offer within driving distance or a short plane ride, and really just educating the locals and other people why this is such a great area, why we chose it.
That's interesting. So your husband is Ryan?
Yes. So
then,
my husband, Ryan, and then our children, the girls are Aviana and Adalyn, and they will turn 5 next month. And then Rory is about 16 months old.
Excellent. Well, traveling with kids is always an adventure, but their eyes really open when they see what the world has to offer. So many learning experiences. So talk me through this move from, you were in Maine, is that correct?
Yes.
And then you just said, we're leaving, we're going somewhere, and you ended up in Raleigh. How did that work?
Yeah. So we had always traveled quite a bit, so we knew that there was so much more to offer in the world, and our hometown was really small. I like to tell people that the nearest Starbucks was 2.5 hours away, so extremely rural. And we wanted to move before the girls started school. So, we Googled best places to raise a family, and this area kept popping up. So we came down and visited, instantly fell in love, and the rest is history. The climate change was a nice welcome as well. We were looking for something with a little less winter. So we've really been enjoying our time here and exploring, as I mentioned, all the local activities.
Well, I'm based in Atlanta. I've been here for 25 years. I'm from Scotland originally, so I understand that cold weather and how it can get to you. I'd struggle to go back myself, I think, used to this hot weather now. What is it that you do that allows you to take off on all these different trips around the Raleigh area?
So my job as a PA, I work 3 12-hour shifts. So in between my work week, once the girls are out of school, we generally pack our bags and go somewhere for an extended long weekend, generally within an hour to a couple hours drive here. Or if we're thinking of staying even more local, there's so much here to explore and activities and opportunities happening all the time that we are generally out and about looking for those activities to explore, and then also share with our followers on, what's happening, and, is this something that's worthwhile to take your kids to? And if so, how?
So there are so many things to do round about your local area, and so many people, myself included, in and around Atlanta. First of all, it's a big city. There's so much to do. But once you get outside of the city as well, there's just so many opportunities that you don't necessarily know about, even though that they are within an hour or two of your backyard. So what exciting things have you been to or seen in and around your area?
Yeah, and maybe you can relate to this, perhaps being from Scotland. My husband is a huge golf enthusiast. So after Christmas, we went down to Pinehurst, which is a really, world famous golf resort. And you wouldn't think that going to a golf resort with kids would necessarily be your number one go-to for a Christmas vacation, but it was really special, and the resort offered so many family-friendly activities. We can't wait to go back. So we've done that, and then Ashville in the Blue Ridge Mountains is absolutely beautiful. Ryan and I took a trip there, just the two of us, which was really nice. And then we're actually heading to the beach this weekend. We're going down to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina for about 5 days. My parents are flying down.
Great. And, when you have younger kids as well, like you said before they get to school, and when you have a job where you're working, 3 out of 7 days, it's nice to be able to kind of take off and have maybe a 4-day, 5-day trip and not really miss any work, right?
Right. Yeah, it is nice. It's a lot, working 3 12-hour shifts, but to know that we have, we're always looking ahead and, what's our next trip? Where are we going to go next? Where we want to explore and share with our followers. So it keeps it really fun and exciting that way. And our kids are little mini jet setters. They love traveling and exploring new places as well.
So what was it that, came into your mind that said, we've got to travel more? What is really important about that for you as well as for your kids?
Yeah, I think, it all started actually whenever Ryan and I were driving home from our trip to Asheville. We've always, been self-proclaimed travel agents for our own trips, and always done extensive research where to stay, come up with exact itineraries, the best places to eat, best things to do. And we discovered that there just wasn't one good source for all of that information. And since we have traveled a lot, and since we do have 3 kids, we felt that we had a lot of valuable information to share with people and to help them and inspire them and empower them to leave the walls of their house with their kids too, and sharing them what we've learned along the way. And I think more and more, as you have more children, and a lot of times people can kind of get stuck in the accumulating more stuff rut, that we're trying to fill our children's childhoods with more experiences versus things. Some of my fondest memories as a child were traveling with my parents. So I want to evoke those same emotions and memories with my own family.
Yeah, I think so many people get to that stage in life where, they've given their kids all these different things. And, we're lucky enough to be living in America where, that is standard. But, just like you said, those memories that you have of a kid, it's not what you got for Christmas one year or for a birthday. It's the time that you spent together. So I do have that same belief that it really is those experiences and making the most of the time that you have with your kids that is the most important.
Yeah, for sure.
So what have been some of your most memorable experiences on your travels so far?
We have gone to Disney quite a few times. My in-laws have a home in Orlando, so we're fortunate to be able to visit there often. And now that we're in North Carolina, it's about a 12-hour drive. So we have actually driven down there with 3 kids. But I would say one of our most memorable experiences was the first time that our girls went to the Magic Kingdom, and we did the Cinderella breakfast at Cinderella's castle with all the princesses. They were about 3 years old, and they're still tied up in the whole princess fairy tale magical world. So that was really, really special, just seeing their faces light up with pure joy when they saw their, these princesses that they admire and look up to so much, see them in real life.
Yeah, there's nothing better than seeing that smile on your child's face just when they're in awe. If you could capture that, you could look at it all day. And that's, what you do with, there's so much photography now, and, with people having phones, we are able to capture those memories a lot easier than before. Now,
Yeah.
As far as what you've learned on these travel experiences, are you somebody that prepares a lot beforehand, or do you just pack your bags and go?
I definitely put a good amount of preparation in. That being said, we're leaving on Sunday morning, and I haven't packed one thing yet. But since we do travel so much, I pretty much have a standard, list in my head of things that we know that we need to bring, and then obviously modify for the destination. But I do think that proper preparedness is very important. But also, traveling with kids, there's a lot of unknowns and there's a lot of variables. So I think just knowing that things will not always go as planned, just lowering your expectations to a bit, just to kind of go with the flow. But being prepared does help you for those little bumps in the road should they occur.
Now, does that mean that you're a heavy packer and you take everything with you, or a light packer and you deal with what you have?
I'd say somewhere in the middle. I probably pack more for myself heavy, because I bring a lot of our food and kind of, accessories, I guess, or other travel gear. I bring a lot of that because it's easier, I find. And I did a piece on our blog recently about how to eat healthy on vacation. I'm a really big health and fitness enthusiast, so I bring a lot of our food and snacks and things like that along the way. It just makes eating easier and cheaper too, than having to eat out for every single meal whenever we're away.
Yeah, I think that's, we've noticed that ourselves. If we are gone for a few days and you're eating between restaurants and fast foods, it's a sure way to feel lousy and get sick. It definitely is a lot better if you can take the healthy food with you, or even buy it when you're there.
Yeah, and then it's always my mission that we come home with the food bag empty. So we try to eat it all while we're away.
So talk to me a little bit about the blog and what you're doing as far as making this a little bit of a business, or trying to get some notice from other people out there, because I know hotels and travel brands are always looking for people to share their experiences online. Is that something that you are looking to do?
Yes, absolutely. I think that there are so many people out there that sometimes it can kind of, you can kind of get lost, or it can be hard to find your voice or your niche per se, but we're just laying it all out there, just trying to be as authentic and honest as possible. In our own experiences, we are only sharing things that we are 120% passionate about. We wouldn't, post or share something that we didn't completely stand behind. So our blog post, whether it be of a trip that we had, a travel itinerary, or a product review, or tips and tricks, it's all, something that we really stand behind and are passionate about. So we have a variety of different blog posts that we do. Each destination that we go to, we have a travel itinerary of what we did each day. And my husband and I, we both write for the blog. So we do kind of a back and forth conversational style for those. And then we also do local pieces on different attractions and activities here in the greater Raleigh area. We have tips and tricks. As I mentioned, for example, one was eating healthy on vacation, how we do that. And then product reviews. And we also have a family sidebar as well. Some of our family stories about the individual characters in our family, or little things that have happened on our day-to-day life that we find, someone else may find inspiring or get a good laugh out of even.
Definitely. Like I said before the start of the show, I was reading some of your work on your blog, which is destinationgraves.com. That's Graves. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, it's very well written. It kind of pulls you in, some funny little things that you say that made me laugh and smile. But it is all about sharing you and yourself and your stories, and just that authentic you. What do you think holds people back from, doing more of this themselves and, taking more family vacations?
I think a lack of knowledge and fear that people feel like they need to have all of this fancy equipment, or they need to have experience themselves in travel, or they need to have, X amount of money to go to certain destinations. But really it's not about that. And we try to represent that in our blog and helping people, sharing our favorite products, and also how you can travel with a 1-year-old, or for example, how my husband flew with 3 children, all under the age of 5 alone. So I think it's a combination of both of those things, just overcoming the fears, whether it be their personal experience or not feeling that they have the money to go and spend and have a great family vacation. Some of our best trips have been, within an hour of here, or have been, really low key. They don't have to be this big, elaborate, international destinations. I think a lot of times too, people get caught up in social media and they see all these other families doing these extravagant things and, kind of play the comparison game. But whatever your adventure is, like I said in the little intro, near or far, you can make really incredible family memories.
Yeah, I think one of those major things that hold people back are the expense. How have you been able to kind of handle that? And are there any tips or tricks that you use to make it more affordable?
Yeah, so we do have a separate account that we do put a percentage of my income to each time I get paid, that we use strictly for travel. And then, as I mentioned too, we bring a lot of our food, mainly the breakfast and all of the snacks, on our trips. And then any money that we've made also through our blog, we deposit directly into our next trip fund. So actually our upcoming trip this weekend, we're doing our first press trip, and I'm so excited about it. We're collaborating with the resort that we're staying with. So we'll be providing some really great content on the resort, and then also Myrtle Beach itself. So that's really exciting, and we obviously hope to do more of those in the future.
Excellent. So I'm sure people listening are wondering how that kind of thing comes about. What's the process that you went through to make that happen?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of training and just educating myself on blogging, about reaching out to businesses, about photography. It's many different worlds, as you know, the whole blogging realm. But basically it's just a numbers game and, trial and error. And I reached out to a number of tourism boards and other resorts, and either they weren't accepting new opportunities at that time, or the time frame was too short, or one of them, they actually said, we require a higher number of followers, which I understand. But I reached out to this resort, told them of our travel plans, what I was thinking of doing a piece on, and how I could showcase their resort. And, more or less, would a collaboration be of interest? I shared our media kit and some of our statistics of our blog thus far and our social media. And, they came back and said that they would love to do a collaboration and let them know the dates of our stay. And, there were some other, obviously, details of what that would entail. And that was it, really. So we'll get there on Sunday and we'll meet with their marketing representative, and I'll be doing a blog post for them, and then obviously some photography and Instagram posts and Instagram stories. So I'm really excited. It'll be work on vacation, but I'm really excited to deliver and just knock it out of the park our first press trip.
Well, it's always fun to, even though it is work, it's fun to be able to do something that you enjoy and, get rewarded for that. What are the benefits, Stephanie, for the resort by, having somebody like you come in and do that kind of stuff for them?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely benefit from us giving a very honest perspective. Like I said, we only represent brands that we really stand behind. So giving an honest representation to our followers, why this resort was great, why it's great for kids, the amenities, the restaurants, proximity to the beach, so on and so forth, and sharing it with all of our, blog followers as well as social media followers. And particularly since we're, local-ish, it's about 4.5 hours away from Myrtle Beach. A lot of people in this area are going to Myrtle Beach, later this spring or summer. So it'll be really valuable information for them. And, moving forward, since it is a larger resort chain, I'm anticipating that we can have some sort of collaboration and we can go and explore some of their other resorts and also provide great content and feedback for our followers on those as well.
So what does the future look like for you and your family? Is traveling full-time an option for you, or are you happy just taking as many trips as you possibly can throughout the year?
Yeah, so given my job, remote work isn't really an option. I guess it could be if I was more involved with research, but our short-term plan is to continue just traveling as much as we can on the weekends. And then when the girls are on summer break, taking longer trips, 2-week trips, say back to Maine or New England. And then eventually, being able to travel, I guess more on a full-time basis, all goes well and the blog does really well, that we can have some more freedom and flexibility with my schedule and with our, real jobs per se, that we can really, explore more of the world.
Right. And is that there's so much to see in the United States that, you could spend years and years going around the States to see all the beautiful sites that are here. But do you have that plan to go to the rest of the world as well and see what other countries have to offer?
Yeah, we do for sure. I mean, there's a lot of bucket list places on my list that are international. Bali and Santorini are like my number 2 that I so desperately want to visit. And I think as we continue in this blog and travel journey that, our dreams and our goals will change and shift as we advance in this. So it'll be really interesting to see where it takes us, if we focus mainly in the States or if we take it to more of an international level, and really just trying to see what our readers are most engaged and interested in hearing, and how we can help them, because ultimately we're going on these trips to bring back information to them. So it's also a really great excuse, I guess, to get out and travel more and see more places, to be able to provide more content for our followers.
And with that content, it is all about these iconic photos. I'm just, I can picture Bali and Santorini in my head. People just love to see those pictures. So there is a lot of engagement on your website and social accounts as well. Well, Stephanie, what is the best way for people to connect with you? I know your website is destinationgraves.com. How do they connect with you on social media as well?
Yeah, so they can definitely hop over to our website and read more about our family and our adventures and travel tips. They can subscribe to our newsletter there as well. I send it out every Friday. I just sent one out today, just kind of recapping the week. And I also give some insider tips and then what's on the horizon. And then they can follow us on Instagram at Destination Graves. And on Facebook, my personal profile is Stephanie Graves. And then we have a private Facebook group, it's a Facebook page, Destination Graves, which they can join and follow along as well. So people can contact us through either of the social media platforms or on the blog, subscribing to the newsletter. They can email us and contact us directly at info@destinationgraves.com.
Well, excellent. I know a lot of people are going to jump on that and follow your journey. Even if they can't make it away themselves, they love to see those pictures and live vicariously through somebody else. Make sure you go check that out, destinationgraves.com, and I'm sure you'll get all the social links there as well. Stephanie, if there's a final message that you would like to leave with our listeners, what might that be?
I would say that the final message is just to get out there and to chase your dreams and to fill your life with the things and the people that make you happy, and to really just get out there and experience the world, because there is so much to see and experience, and life is too short not to chase your dreams and get out there and get after it.
That's right. We just don't know how much time that we have left, so we don't want to be wasting it doing stuff that we don't enjoy. It's a great message right there. All right, Stephanie, well, I ask everybody this question. What is your favorite book and why?
I'm not a huge reader, I will say that. I do more podcasts and YouTube whenever I'm doing any reading or education or personal development. But I did have my own business previously, and there was this book, Get Over Your Damn Self. Mm-hmm. And it was related a little bit to the business that I was in, but the underlying message was basically to, break through your personal barriers and get out of your own head and take action. So I thought it was a really powerful book, and for lack of a better term, get over your damn self. And I found it really liberating too, her message. So it's a great book for anyone in any field, and it will definitely inspire you to take action.
Yep, and that's what it's all about. People, you have to get your mindset right. People will sit in the same place for years and years and years, wishing that they could travel more instead of, like you said, taking action and finding a way, putting the money away like you do to a special travel budget, and finding the things that are going to make it more economical and possible. So,
you never know unless you try. So.
All right. Well, Stephanie Graves, it's been great talking to you today. I hope you have fun on your travels. People, make sure that you connect with Stephanie and the Graves family at destinationgraves.com. Stephanie, thanks very much for being my guest on the No Matter podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
All right. And to our listening audience, if you like what you hear, hit that like button and share, and we'll see you next time on the show.
Thanks for listening to the No Matter podcast.
For more shows and resources, visit us at nohomenomatter.com and make sure to follow and subscribe.